Hello and welcome back to After Work English. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Jake. If you are listening with your bag still on your shoulder or your shoes still on, this episode is for you.
Today we're talking about a very real problem. You finish work, your brain feels foggy and tired, and suddenly even one page of English feels impossible.
Yes, at that moment, your sofa looks like a life coach, your phone looks like a best friend, and your textbook looks like a tax form.
Exactly. So our question is simple. When you are very tired after work, how can you keep learning English with just 1 minute?
Not 1 hour, not a perfect study session, just 1 minute that keeps the habit alive.
And that matters because many learners do not stop because they are lazy. They stop because their study plan is too heavy for a tired evening.
A heavy plan is easy to love at 8 a.m. It is much harder to love at 8:40 p.m. when you are hungry and looking for noodles.
In this episode, we'll help you build a tiny version of English practice that fits real life. We'll talk about energy, habit, guilt, and small actions that actually work.
We'll also teach useful words and phrases naturally as we go, and near the end, we'll review them together in simple English.
This episode is around B1 to B2 level.
So some parts may sound a little richer, but we'll keep the ideas clear and explain useful words as we go.
If you don't catch every word, that's okay. Just stay with the main idea.
And you can always come back later and listen again. You'll probably catch more each time.
If this kind of quiet, practical episode helps you, you can stay with us and come back for the next one.
And as you listen today, notice the moment when English usually slips away after work.
If you want, tell us about that moment later in the comments.
Is it on the bus home? When you open the front door? After dinner? Or when you sit on the bed and think, I'll do it later?
Let's start with something important. Being tired after work is not a character flaw. It is information.
Yes, your body is saying, I used a lot today. Maybe your job is physical. Maybe it is emotional. Maybe you stared at a screen and made 100 decisions.
And when your energy is low, your brain wants easy comfort, not effort. That is normal.
So the first useful word today is drained. If you feel drained, you feel empty of energy. For example, after 3 meetings and a long commute, I felt completely drained.
When you're drained, the wrong question is, can I do a strong, serious study session right now?
The better question is, what is the smallest English action I can still do without a fight?
That phrase, without a fight, is important. Because many people do have 1 minute. What they do not have is extra mental strength to begin something big.
So we lower the bar. And lower the bar is a great phrase too. It means making the task easier to start.
Some learners worry that lowering the bar is weak. I don't think it is weak at all. I think it is smart.
Same. If the choice is between 1 gentle minute and 0 minutes, the gentle minute wins every time. Let's imagine a scene. You leave the office at 6:20. The bus is crowded. Your head is full. You still want to improve your English, but your mind feels noisy.
In that moment, a 30-minute plan is too much. But 1 minute could be this. Open your phone, play one short English clip, and repeat one sentence softly.
Or read one message you wrote to yourself in English this morning. Or name 5 things you can see: window, bag, driver, traffic, tired face.
Tired face is accurate, very poetic, but accurate.
Thank you. The point is not performance. The point is contact. You're staying in contact with the language.
I love that word here, contact. Not mastery, not pressure, just contact.
Because when you keep contact, English stays part of your identity. You are still a person who uses English, even on low energy days.
That can protect your confidence. And confidence is not only a feeling. Sometimes confidence is evidence. You did a small thing yesterday. You did a small thing today. So your brain says, maybe I can trust myself.
Exactly. Tiny proof can be stronger than big promises.
I remember a friend who worked at a pharmacy. By the time she got home, she was too tired to sit and study. So she made a 1 minute rule.
What was the rule?
Before she changed clothes, she had to say 3 English sentences out loud in the kitchen. Only 3.
That is such a good example. She used a fixed moment before changing clothes and a tiny action, 3 sentences.
Yes, and because it was small, she almost never skipped it.
This is the kind of plan you can actually stick with. That matters more than a beautiful plan you do twice.
Some nights she stopped at 3 sentences. Some nights 3 became 10.
That is another secret. A 1-minute practice is not a prison. It is a doorway.
You are allowed to continue, but you do not have to continue.
That difference matters. When your brain knows it can stop, it is less afraid to begin.
Let's say that in simpler words. Start small enough that your tired brain does not say no. You can even give the habit 2 versions.
Yes, the minimum version and the bonus version.
The minimum version is the real promise. 1 minute, no debate.
The bonus version is extra. If you feel okay, maybe 1 minute becomes 5 or 10.
The important thing is that the minimum version is the success, not the boring backup plan.
Exactly. If you secretly believe only the bonus version counts, you will disrespect your own progress.
And then guilt returns wearing a different hat.
So tell yourself clearly, 1 minute is the win. Anything more is a gift.
That sentence protects the habit from perfectionism.
Perfectionism means wanting the ideal version so much that you avoid the doable version.
Another helpful word is friction. In daily life, friction means small difficulty that slows you down.
For example, if your English app is hidden in a folder, your headphones are dead, and your notebook is in another room, that is too much friction.
So if you want 1 minute English after work, reduce the friction before work. Prepare in advance.
Choose one tiny activity and make it easy to reach. Maybe your lock screen has one English question. Maybe your bag has a small card. Maybe your phone has one saved audio clip.
I like to call this a low energy menu, not 10 choices, just 2 or 3.
Yes, too many choices can feel heavy. A tired brain says, please do not make me decide again.
So your menu could be 1 sentence of shadowing, 1 voice note, or reading 1 short paragraph.
Shadowing is a very useful word for learners. It means listening to English and repeating it almost immediately, like an echo.
Example, I hear, today was long, but I still showed up. Then I repeat, today was long, but I still showed up.
And that sentence works emotionally too. It respects the day you had.
There is something else many learners wait for without noticing. They wait to feel in the mood.
Ah, yes, the famous mood, a mysterious guest who often never arrives.
Exactly. But learning after work works better when it is built into life, not into mood.
Built into life means attached to something that already happens. When the kettle is boiling, when the elevator is moving, when the rice is heating, when you sit down on the train.
This is why 1 minute is powerful. It can fit inside a real moment.
Let's give a few scenes. If you drive home, you can speak one English summary of your day before you turn off the car.
If you take the subway, you can read 1 short note in English before the doors close at the next station.
If you walk home, you can describe the street in simple English. The air is cold. The shop is bright. I want tea.
If you work from home, your 1 minute can happen right after you shut the laptop. Stand up, stretch, and say 1 thing you learned today and 1 thing you want tomorrow.
I like that because it feels calm, not academic, more like a bridge from work life to personal life.
Bridge is a lovely word here. A bridge connects one place to another. Your 1 minute can be a bridge from your tired self to your learning self.
And bridges do not need fireworks. They just need to hold.
Let's talk about guilt, because guilt shows up quickly in language learning.
Oh yes. You miss a big study session, and suddenly your inner voice becomes a very strict school principal.
Guilt says, you are not serious. You are falling behind. You always quit.
But often the truth is simpler. You were tired. You were human. Your plan was too ambitious for this season of life.
Ambitious means full of big goals. Big goals are not bad, but they need a structure that matches your real energy.
If you are in a busy season, 1 minute English is not a failure plan. It is a survival plan.
And survival plans are honorable. They help you keep going until you have more space again.
I want to underline something. Consistency does not always look impressive from the outside.
Yes, sometimes consistency looks like a woman whispering 1 English sentence while washing a lunchbox.
Or a man sitting on the edge of the bed saying, tomorrow I have 1 meeting. I might need coffee before he brushes his teeth.
Or a parent in the kitchen reading 2 lines in English while the pasta water starts to boil.
None of that looks dramatic, but it counts. It absolutely counts.
Here is a practical question. What should you do in that 1 minute?
Good. Because if the task is still unclear, the minute disappears.
I think the best 1 minute practices have 3 qualities. They are simple, repeatable, and emotionally light.
Emotionally light is important. If the task makes you feel stupid, tense, or tested, you will avoid it when tired.
So maybe not a difficult grammar exercise at 10 p.m.
Yes, your tired brain does not want a surprise exam.
Instead, try things like this. Repeat one useful sentence 5 times. Read one short note aloud. Record one voice note about your mood. Answer one easy question. Or look at one picture and describe it.
You can also keep a tiny set of default sentences. For example, today I am tired, but okay. My work was busy. I need dinner. Tomorrow will be easier.
These sentences are simple, but they are alive. They connect English to real life.
And real life is sticky. Sticky means easier to remember because it is connected to your own experience.
That is a nice word to teach. If an idea is sticky, it stays in your mind more easily.
Example, I remembered the phrase, miss the bus because I say it to myself every Monday.
Another tip is to decide your 1 minute action before you get tired, not after.
Yes, evening is not the best time for hard planning. Morning you has to help evening you.
Some people call this an if-then plan. If I arrive home and put down my keys, then I say one sentence in English.
Or if I sit on the bus after work, then I listen and repeat one short clip.
Or if I open the fridge, then I name 3 foods in English before I choose dinner.
That one is fun. Tomato, eggs, leftover rice, and emotional confusion.
I also want to speak to listeners who say, but 1 minute is too small. Can it really help me improve?
Fair question. 1 minute alone will not do everything, but 1 minute can do something very important. It can protect the chain.
Protect the chain means keeping the pattern alive.
Exactly. When the pattern stays alive, it is much easier to return to longer study on a better day.
Think of it like brushing your teeth. A very short brush is not ideal, but it is still better than forgetting for a week.
That is both useful and slightly uncomfortable, which means it is probably true.
And sometimes 1 minute grows naturally. You start with 60 seconds. Then you keep going for 4 minutes because starting was the hardest part.
Starting is often the expensive part, energy-wise. Once you begin, the next small step is cheaper.
That is why lowering the entry point works. You make the door wide enough for a tired version of yourself.
I love that image. Not a tall gate with a password, just an open little door.
And here's a strange thing. Once people trust that the minute is enough, they often do more, not less.
Because the pressure drops.
Yes, pressure can freeze action. Permission can open it.
So your 1 minute habit is not only small, it is psychologically clever,
It works with human nature instead of arguing with it.
which is usually the wiser move after a long workday. But let's be honest, even with a good 1 minute plan, some days you will still miss it.
Yes, maybe you had overtime. Maybe your child was sick. Maybe you got home late and your only English sentence was good night.
And that is where another useful word comes in, reset.
To reset means to begin again from now, without making the past larger than it needs to be.
Example, I missed 2 days, but I reset on Wednesday with one short voice note.
Reset is gentler than restart in my mind. Restart can feel big. Reset feels like, okay, I am back.
I agree. When you miss a day, the goal is not to create a courtroom in your head.
Yes, no long speech from the angry judge.
The goal is simply to make the next start easy.
That might mean saying, tonight I only need 30 seconds. Fine. 30 seconds is still a return.
I think many adults secretly believe that if learning is not hard, it is not serious.
That belief causes so much pain.
It does, because adult life is already full. Work, family, house tasks, messages, appointments, cooking, commuting.
If English can only happen in perfect silence with perfect focus, it will disappear.
But if English can live inside ordinary life, it becomes durable. Durable means strong enough to last over time.
Example, Her study habit was durable because she could do it even on busy days.
Durable is a beautiful goal. Not dramatic, durable.
And I think that is the heart of today's episode. We are not trying to build a heroic evening. We are building a durable relationship with English.
A relationship you can return to when your hair is messy, your dinner is late, and your brain is half asleep.
Especially then.
Let me give one more mini story. A listener once told me she kept a note on her bathroom mirror.
What did it say?
Just one question. How was today? Every night she answered in one or two English sentences while brushing her hair.
That is lovely because the question never changed, so there was no extra decision.
Right. Repetition can feel boring, but repetition is often what makes practice gentle.
Also, because the question was familiar, she could notice progress. At first she said, busy, tired, fine. Later she said, today was tiring, but I handled a difficult customer quite calmly.
And there is growth. Not because she forced an hour of study every night, but because she kept returning.
That word returning matters a lot to me. A good habit is not one you do perfectly. It is one you know how to return to.
That is worth hearing twice. A good habit is not one you do perfectly. It is one you know how to return to.
Yes. If you remember only one idea from this episode, let it be that.
So maybe tonight, before you get tired, make your own 1-minute kit.
Your kit can be very small. One saved audio clip, one question on a sticky note, one simple sentence bank, one place on your phone where nothing gets lost.
Sentence bank is a great idea. Maybe 10 everyday sentences you can reuse.
Such as, I am more tired than I expected. The train was late. I need a quiet evening. I did my best today. I want to sleep earlier tonight.
Those are useful because they sound like real adult life, not like a textbook robot visiting the supermarket.
Hello, I am a textbook robot. Where is the library after my stressful meeting?
Exactly. Real language is warmer, messier, and more memorable. And if you are not sure which practice to choose, choose speaking first. Speaking for 1 minute creates strong contact,
Even if your speaking is slow.
especially if it is slow. Slow is fine. Slow-spoken English is still English.
That feels important to say out loud. Slowness is not failure. It is just pace.
Pace means speed. Example: find a pace you can continue, not a pace that makes you quit.
Very good. And if speaking feels impossible because other people are around, then whisper, or think in English, or read silently. The minute still counts.
Let's do a soft recap before a vocabulary review.
Here is the heart of it. When you are tired after work, do not ask your evening self for a heroic study session.
Ask for a tiny action that keeps contact with English alive.
Lower the bar so starting feels kind, not painful.
Reduce friction by preparing in advance.
Attach the minute to a real moment in your day, like the bus ride, the kettle, the mirror, or the front door.
And if you miss a day, reset quickly. No drama, no guilt speech.
Most of all, remember that 1 minute is not silly. 1 minute can protect your identity, your confidence, and your habit.
You are not failing because you are tired. You are learning how to stay close to English in a life that is already full.
And that is a mature skill, not a small one.
Okay, let's move into our vocabulary review. We picked 9 useful words and phrases from today's conversation.
Number 1 is drained. If you feel drained, you feel very tired and empty of energy. Example, after answering customer emails all day, I felt drained.
Number 2 is lower the bar. It means make the task easier to start. Example, I lowered the bar and studied English for just 1 minute.
Number 3 is stick with. It means continue doing something, even when it is not easy. Example, this plan is small enough that I can stick with it after work.
Number 4 is friction. It means small problems or effort that make something harder to do. Example, looking for my notebook created too much friction, so I used a note on my phone instead.
Number 5 is shadowing. This is when you listen to English and repeat it right away, like an echo. Example, I did 1 minute of shadowing on the bus home.
Number 6 is built into. It means already connected to part of your normal routine. Example, my English minute is built into my tea time.
Number 7 is reset. It means start again calmly after you stop or miss a day. Example, I missed yesterday, but I reset tonight with one short sentence.
Number 8 is durable. Durable means strong enough to last for a long time. Example, a tiny evening habit can be more durable than a big weekend plan.
Number 9 is pace. Pace means speed or rhythm. Example, I am learning at a slow pace, but I am still moving.
And if you want a bonus phrase, here it is: keep contact. In today's episode, it means staying connected to English, even in a small way. Example, I was tired, but I kept contact with English by reading one paragraph.
That bonus phrase is simple, but I think it is powerful.
Before we go, here's your tiny homework. Choose one exact moment tonight when your 1-minute English can happen.
Not someday, not generally. Tonight, after I take off my shoes, when the rice is heating, when I sit on the train, when I lock the car.
Then choose one exact action. One sentence, one voice note, one short clip, one question, one description.
Keep it so small that your tired self cannot honestly say absolutely impossible.
And if you want, tell us in the comments by finishing the sentence. My 1-minute English happens when...
I would genuinely love to read those. Real routines are always more interesting than perfect plans.
And if this episode made you think of someone who gets home tired and still wants to keep learning, you can share it with them too.
If you like learning English this way, you can subscribe and come back for the next episode.
They really are. And if today was long, I hope this episode helped you breathe a little and see a kinder way forward.
English does not always need a big clean table, a perfect notebook, and a shining brain. Sometimes it just needs one honest minute.
Thank you for spending this time with us on After Work English.
Take care of yourself, protect your tiny habit, and we'll meet you again soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.